we talked about this originally a little bit when we were sitting at that convention, that this is the second time that you'd worked with Billy Zane, like in 2 years or something.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, is that why your name came up to play this character, was because you had already just worked with Billy?
No, it was another weird coincidental kind of moment where I was signed on. I say signed on, like I'd given my, agreement. Like I got the script for Waltzing with Brando during the pandemic, I believe it was. And I, like with so many other productions, they were like ready to, almost just about ready to go. And then the pandemic hit, and then everybody was like, oh shit, we got to rethink. But they were still going out, and they gave me the script. I read it. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And, I talked to Bill. Billy, was always attached from the beginning, and this is his movie. And Bill Fishman, the director. And so I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm into this. And they were like, all right, well, we're still trying to figure things out and what to do because of the pandemic. Can we shoot here? We're going to shoot in Fiji. We're going to, just figuring out all that stuff. And then in the meantime, and then that started getting pushed. And so like with so many of the projects I've been attached to, I was like, well, it either happens or it doesn't. And I'm not surprised if it just floats away and disappears, or if it comes back, it's always a bonus if it comes back. Because that's kind of what happened. I was like, oh, I would get updates every now and then. And there's like, well, we're not sure. And we're still trying to figure out if we can do this, if we got the funding. And in the meantime, I did another film, and the director was like, oh, we got Billy Zane, I think, to play the bad guy. I was like, no way. I'm supposed to be doing a movie with him. Yeah. Supposedly, but it'll probably never happen. So yeah, we did, but it was total coincidence. Huh. Yeah.
So when you read the script and you found out you were shooting in Fiji, did you immediately
in Tahiti?
In Tahiti, excuse me. In Tahiti.
Yeah.
In Tetiaroa. Tetiaroa, which is exactly where the island is. Like you actually shot in.
Tetiaroa is the island atoll.
Yes.
That they, because if you look at it, it's not like what a traditional island. It's like a submerged island with little motus that they call like mini islands that pop up out of the water. Okay. So it's like a ring of islands kind of.
Yeah. And very shallow water around it too, though, right?
Yeah, there's like a lagoon in between all of them. Okay. That whole atoll is the piece of land that he purchased. And we got to shoot one day on it.
Oh, only one
day. Because it does still have has the resort called the Brando there. And it's like top of the line, 10,000 a night or something like that. Oh, incredible. God. And we got to go hang out there when I first flew to Fiji, they took me over there just to kind of get in the mode and kind of see what all their Bernie and Brando's work had culminated to. And then it wasn't until the end of the shoot we went back for a day to shoot.
You didn't get to stay at the resort, though.
No.
Did you get to see any of the resort?
Oh yeah, no. We hung out in the resort. The resort is less of like, it's not a big building. It's more like these bungalows. Well, not even bungalows. I mean, they're like, some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger, and they're like houses or smaller. I mean, insane, like credible. And we they gave us lent us one for the afternoon so we could go swimming. And it's everything you imagine when you think of just perfect Tahitian island vacation getaway place where, the sand is white, water's crystal clear. Everything is just it's so eco-friendly, and how they recycle and use everything. And it was beautiful. It was just gorgeous. And in some of the places where we shot were this is the most beautiful and remote. That was the coolest thing. It felt truly remote, like you're just away from everything. And so that was really cool. But then we shot most of the movie on, oh man, I'm going to blank. It's the island off of the main island off of Tahiti, Moorea. Moorea.
I was like, don't look at me.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh no. So Moorea, which we shot a little bit on the main island of Tahiti, but then we shot most of the movie on Moorea, which is beautiful, amazing as well.
Did you take any of your family with you?
I wanted to. Yeah. I really wanted to. I learned that lesson when I shot a movie a number of years ago in Thailand, and And everybody's like, why'd you bring your family? I was like, well, I was working every day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like ditch them. Like it was, and my kids were even younger then. I was like, they definitely would have come and joined me, except that we just shot like at the end of the school year when they were like doing tests and my wife was working and it just didn't work out. But
this episode is brought to you by Masterclass. You know how easy it is to get stuck scrolling your phone and suddenly like an hour has gone by? Yeah, I've been there. And lately I have been swapping that habit for something that actually leaves me feeling good. Masterclass. On the platform, you can learn from some of the best in the world to become your best. With plans starting at just $10 a month, billed annually, you get unlimited access to over 200 classes from business leaders and writers to chefs and athletes. Right now, I've been diving into acting with Helen Mirren. I mean, come on, like learning from the best? Exactly. That's what I love. And I've actually started applying what I've been learning. It's practical, inspiring, and honestly, it's become a routine that stretches my brain in the best way. Here's the best part. Every new membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's no risk. Right now, our listeners get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/Katee. That's 15% off at masterclass.com/Katee. Masterclass.com/Katee. Did you, because the entire Waltzing with Brando is based off a book that Bernie wrote about his life.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to read that book and did it give you any insights into who he was as a person?
I love the book. The book called Waltzing with Brando, written by Bernard Judge, who I play in the movie. It's great because it's not really a novel. I mean, he's just kind of, narrating just kind of like his time from when he met Brando to when he was basically kind of fired. I mean, I don't want to give spoilers.
Yeah, of course.
But he is great because it's got lots of he was a big photographer, so he took tons of photos, lots of photos, and it was very technical. He talks about how he was able to accomplish some of the things. But I loved it. Soaked it all up, and it just really helped me to learn about the culture, learn about the character of Bernie and what he was, this transformation he's kind of going through, but really just how insane of a project this was to try to carry through of making Brando's Island a place where you could live, which was almost impossible to get to because if it was just a typical island, you just pull a boat up there, whatever. But this atoll had like a coral reef that was surrounding it, and nobody wanted to disturb the coral reef, and so you couldn't get boats over it. You had to like kind of park a boat right up next to the coral reef. Then you had to hop on rafts, and they had to move all the equipment. That was just the beginning of some of the technical leaps they had to make, and it was just really fascinating to see and jump into that whole world of how he's doing his normal job, but like in this crazy place that was also like, oh, we're on island time. This is going to take years and years, and it did.
How much did Bernie actually end up spending there?
How much time
in total?
I think it was about a 5. Oh man, it was like 5 or 6 years.
So he was gone from his family for a very long time. And there was times where he'd be going. Yeah,
there was definitely chunks of time where he was just living on that island. And then, there's a lot of times where then he'd have to fly back home to, kind of complete some other project or get, talk to the investors to try to get them to continue giving them money. Not just investors, because it's mostly, talk to Brando's people to say, hey, please help us out,
Actually give us the money.
Yeah. And so.
It's such an interesting time because it is literally takes place over the literal rise of Brando, like the most successful movies of his time.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to see the part where, he goes to do The Godfather, and in Brando's mind at the time, is this historically accurate that he was just like, I don't know, it's some guy, I'm going to shove some cotton balls in my mouth. Yeah. Like he was just sort of like, I guess I'm going to go do this thing. And everything he did was to pay for, in his mind.
Yeah, everything. I mean, because I don't think, Brando was keeping a ton of records of himself, but, he got close to Bernie, and Bernie was writing, like almost word for word, things that he would say is like, yeah, he seemed like he was just like doing these projects at this point simply to help pay for the island, pay for other things. This was his passion.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he just kept calling, oh, it's this gangster film I got to do. I got to do this gangster film. I got to do this other war film. And he was, it's a mystery. We don't know fully, what he was thinking and if he really was like, no, I am the greatest actor and I'm just going to play it cool. But he seemed like he was truly in love with, he put it all into this island in Tahiti after he shot that. It was the Mutiny on the Bounty, right?
Yeah.
Mutiny on the Bounty. And that was like the mid 60s when he shot it, and they shot in Tahiti, and that's when he's like, oh my gosh, this place is amazing. And so since then, he just wanted to live the rest of his life there.
Working with Billy, having him be so passionate about the story and the person and having him be a producer on it, what was the working relationship like with him on set?
It was great. It was what I love telling people is when I did promoting the other movie I did with him, which is actually coming out like next month, I think, Tapawingo. He plays like the bad guy in that movie.
Yeah.
And he was only there for like a few days. And so I got to see what I call like artiste Billy, where he comes in. And because it was only, for a short amount of time. And Billy is an artist. He literally is like, he does art. He goes to art shows a lot, galleries and stuff. And he carries himself kind of that way. But then what was so perfect is, going to Tahiti where he's trying to get in Brando mode. We're barely clothed most of the time. And we're always just hanging out. And I got to see dad mode Billy, because he's got daughters and I've got little kids. And so I, got to see him open up and we, were able to bond that way.
Yeah.
Hearing his dad jokes, seeing his sense of humor. Yeah. His two daughters. His oldest daughter plays my daughter in the movie.
So high school. No.
She just started high school. Right. When we shot it, she was, I guess, early middle school.
Right.
And then he has another younger daughter. So we just were able to bond, kind of like find like more the family version of each other while we were there. And so there's a little bit more of a chilled out Billy, because I think that's what Brando, he was channeling a lot of that Brando kind of vibe, like just doesn't care, goes with the breeze. And this is also channeling Brando in Tahiti. He might have been very different. We don't really see a lot of Brando in LA, but in Tahiti, he was just very much like, this is my place and I want you to, anybody visiting my island, anybody visiting my house. He had a house and on the main island, and it's just like, I've become a bit of a Tahitian, I'm one of them. And I want you to kind of see what that's like. So it was great working with Billy in that way, and we had a blast.
There is a scene in the movie where you brought up being naked, where I legitimately, it's the snorkeling scene. I legitimately was like, how are we not seeing penises?
Wait, you didn't?
No, were there penises in it? Oh my
100%.
God. Jon, I need to go back and rewind it.
Oh, do you? I don't think my wife would appreciate that.
Oh my God. Was it, because I literally was looking. I was looking. I was like, maybe they cut it out.
You know what? We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Yeah.
So no penises.
No, there was.
There are penises.
There's one.
Okay, there's one singular peni.
There's more than one that exists. There's one
that's in the shot.
It is terrible that now I'm telling people, like, if you look close, depending on how you watch it, because it will. I think the first time I saw it, it might have been smaller, but I just saw, we did kind of a pre-premiere in Vegas.
Yeah.
And that was the first time my wife
screen.
saw it. Yeah. It was on a big screen. Like a legit festival first year.
Did she know that you'd done this scene?
I had told her all the stuff. I love telling everybody, because I was just like, dude, you guys, oh man, I've never been more naked than like, and you know, while it's not in your face, there's still a lot of stuff going on.
No, like you don't cross camera.
No. But there was like, but this one scene in particular, which is, you know, in the book, it happened in real life where they just go, it was the first time they meet, the first day. And Brando's he loved testing people, especially people who are going to work with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're going to go snorkeling right now and we're going to go skinny. He's like, I didn't bring swimsuits. He's like, no, you don't wear swimsuits in Tahiti. You just skinny dip. It's fine. We're going to go. And that really happened. It's in the book. So we shot that and it was actually the last day of shooting and I wonder if it's because the producers thought because we were swimming with sharks. And I don't know if they were worried about something happening because we did like a test run.
Oh, I'm sure they were like, we should put them in the sharks on the last day.
I mean, that would make sense. And I was like, so should we give them some bait?
So the sharks swim around them? Oh my God. But they were white tip sharks, right? Or reef tips or whatever. Black tip. Which were like,
they were like dogs.
Supposedly like super benign.
Luckily, like I said, we did a test run like a couple weeks before where we went out and swam with them. I was like, oh, this is great. This is cool. So when the time came, last day of shooting, we're shooting that. And, you know, I don't care if Billy hears this, I'm going to say him. I'm going to put him on blast. And like, he was like, hey, where's our little, covers?
Oh, yeah, the sock.
Yeah, well, yeah, or this, you know, it's like, I haven't done a lot of those kind of scenes. So it's like, do you use a sock? Do you use some kind of like Speedo? And I was like, oh, this is like, all the footage is underwater. You guys are going to be farther away. You can do whatever you want. And at that point, Billy was still kind of like, you know, I want to make sure that's here and stuff like that. And, you know, they kept coming to me. I was like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, I want this to be real. I'm getting out there. And then, so when I saw it the second time, first time for my wife watching, she's like, oh my gosh, you straight up see your dong just like floating around. I mean, I don't know if she was looking for it, but she probably was because she's probably like more like, okay,
I know that.
Is it there? Penis. Is it there? Yes. Oh my gosh, John, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I didn't notice it so much the first time, but you know, I was
didn't
like, great.
see it on an iPad
okay.
or
well,
my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's much harder to see, but so if you go see, if you're some of the special people who get to see it in the theater, open your eyes. Yeah. It's like it's like Where's Waldo?
That.
Funny enough, that's what I named him, is Waldo. So Where's Waldo? It's not too hard.
You'll notice.
Yeah, you might notice.
Because it is literally like it's like watching a beautiful love story of like Return to the Blue Lagoon or something with like these two people swimming. It is literally like that scene. I was like,
if you need to know which one is Brando or which one is Billy, which one is me, just look for the dingle dangle. You know, it's me.
Okay, well, this actually brings me to something that I find really interesting. So when we were talking over dinner, we were talking very much about religion and the church and everything. And you are a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
And so how do you have any restrictions as far as what you will and won't do based on your faith?
There's no rule book that says anything. You know, you just kind of have, like, as an actor,
like they don't give out a pamphlet and they're like, if you're ever going to be in the entertainment industry, this is the guideline.
And I don't know if any religion or organized, I mean, who knows? So, you know, you're figuring it out all on your own. And for the most part, you kind of following, you know, the spirit, following your gut feeling like, wow, you know, do you feel comfortable doing something like this? And for me personally, you know, like there's probably other members who, you know, who are actors, or at one point in my career, I'd probably be like, oh, I'm never going to be nude. But just me personally, I've never been that much of a, I'm not that much of a prude when it comes to like my own personal nudity, like, which is weird because I am very like squeamish about a lot of things, or not squeamish, but just like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Or I'd rather not do that or use that kind of language or whatever it is. And up until the, you know, that point, I had not been offered a lot of, you know, roles or had material to work with where I was getting naked, because I was always like, would I, if it ever comes? I kind of like think that would be fun. Like, who cares? Like, it's just me. I'm not doing it to be like, to lure to lure, men and women's minds to doing, I don't know. I was just like,
you're doing it for your big break.
Yeah.
So how'd you make it,
not
Jon,
even a big
in the
break.
industry? I showed my Waldo.
My Waldo.
On
I
camera.
revealed Waldo and his friend Wanda.
You have
I was just
two?
no. That's. I was like, oh, there's a Wando. There's Wizard. I'm a big Waldo fan. I just was like. Because I would mess around, whatever. I'm hanging out with friends and my brothers, or just, I'm probably revealing too much. Yeah, I don't know. I just thinking like later years, and I was just like, look, I don't care.